Hi everyone, how's it going? Hope you're good. Now, it's been a while since I've made any videos for this channel. That's simply because I've been very busy with another channel of mine and just life in general, but I'm going to start uploading to this channel again, looking at smartphones and smartwatches. And today we're going to kick off by looking at the Kospet Prime. I'm going to do a quick review now of this watch. I've actually had it for a few months, but I've just not had time to review it, so here we go. This is a full Android smartwatch, one of those smartwatches that runs a full version of Android, the same you can get on your phone. Now, the difference between this and some other ones, I've reviewed the previous version of this watch, then the Z Blaze 4 Thor Pro, something like that. And they all share some similarities. They are all very large. They can all act as a replacement for your phone, and they all had quite poor battery lives. Now, the Kospet Prime at least solves one of these issues with a much larger battery and a much more decent length battery life. The Kospet Prime can last up to at least a day, and usually around about a day and a half if you don't go mental with how much you use it. Compared to other full Android smartwatches, that is at least double what they can do. It also features a 1.6-inch IPS LCD display, 32 gigabytes of internal memory, as well as 3 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a heart rate monitor, a quad-core processor. It's able to connect to 4G networks using a nano SIM, and you also have the option of connecting to your phone via Bluetooth. And of course, it has GPS as well. The design of the watch is definitely on the thick side, I think you'll agree here. For me, that is a down point because I go on about this all the time, but I have very thin wrists, so whenever I get a smartwatch, I tend to go for the smaller ones. So this is definitely not a thin watch, it's one of the largest ones I've seen. That is likely due to that larger battery. However, if you are not fazed by a thick watch, then this will not be a problem for you. The screen is rather attractive, very sharp, features 400 by 400 pixel IPS LCD display, very responsive as you can see here. There are more than a few watch faces built into the camera, which you can change very quickly, and obviously you can also download and install more. The watch is mostly made out of plastic, so it's not the most premium design. It's not using the most premium materials. It costs, by the way, around about $150 or sometimes cheaper if there is a sale on. I will post below of where I found it for the cheapest price. The strap is a kind of rubber plastic combination, which is not the most comfortable. It's not the worst in the world either. It does feature a little metal connector here, but it is replaceable, so you can always purchase a leather or metal version if you wanted. On the back of the watch, there is a heart rate monitor, which allows you to manually check your heart rate. Unfortunately, it does not have the ability to automatically and continuously track your heart rate throughout the day. You do have to manually select when you want it to work. However, I have found that compared to other watches, it is about as accurate, but it does not do it automatically. You'll also notice at the front and at the side of the watch, 2 cameras. The front-facing camera can be used to unlock your watch with face detection. Now, I'm not really sure why you would do this. It is much simpler to just press or tap a button. I don't find it works all the time. It is very much easier to just move your wrist to activate it or simply touch a button. However, you can also use that camera for video calling, so I think that is a much more useful use of the camera if you were going to use it at all. It features 9 sports modes, including basketball, ping pong, badminton, running, cycling, football, skipping. So it has a lot of options for tracking exercise. Now, like pretty much all full Android smartwatches, the Kospet Prime is basically designed as a replacement for your phone. Unlike many other smartwatches which are designed as a kind of accessory for your phone, the Kospet Prime can literally replace your phone because it can do pretty much anything a smartphone can do. You can place a nano SIM card in the back of the watch and turn it into a full 4G smartwatch, which allows you to connect to your normal 4G signal, receive calls, receive texts. You have full access to the Google Play Store, where you can pretty much download any app that your smartphone can. You can download Spotify, YouTube, you can even download games. I've played some games on the watch which do work. I mean, you're not going to get the full games like PUBG and all that stuff. I mean, you wouldn't want to play that on this watch anyway. I don't think you'd get very far. However, you do have to bear in mind that the round watch face is going to limit what you can do with these apps because they are all designed for a rectangular screen. But it can be fun to watch a little video on your smartwatch. I mean, the screen is bright enough, clear enough for you to see it, and if you can activate full screen, it does get a bit better. And some of the more simple games are fine to use on that round watch face as well. Now, if you didn't want to use the 4G mode, if you didn't have a nano SIM and you just wanted to use it as an accessory to your phone, that is also possible. You can connect to your phone via Bluetooth if you have the correct app on your phone. The limitations of this is that you will not be able to reply to calls or texts if you're just connecting to your phone via Bluetooth. When you're using the nano SIM card, you can reply to texts and calls. You can take calls straight from the watch. But with that Bluetooth connection to your phone, you can only view the notifications and view the messages, and then you would have to go to your phone and reply manually there. The watch also features GPS, like I mentioned, and you have access to the full version of Google Maps. I actually find the GPS to work really well and much better than most other cheaper smartwatches, which seem to not really do well when it comes to GPS, but this is as good as my smartphone. You can also connect the GPS to your fitness tracking, so you can do real-time tracking of your workouts if it involves you moving around, if it involves you running, so you can track those on a map. You do have to bear in mind that any use of the GPS is going to cut down on the battery life significantly. Even though this does have a larger battery than most, that GPS is going to drain your battery quickly, so use it sparingly. So that's about it, guys. That's the Kospet Prime. This is a very quick review, I know, but to be honest, there's not that much to say. I am really not convinced with full Android smartwatches entirely. I understand they can be a replacement for your watch, for your phone. And if you were looking for something that can run pretty much any app, something that you can use to reply to texts, reply to phone calls instantly, and use everything that you would use on your smartphone, then this is probably the best one out right now, just because it has a decent battery life, whereas all of the other full Android smartwatches, basically you can't even use them for half the day without them completely running dry. It has no always on display option, and you do have to contend with how thick it is. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad there on my wrist. And of course the screen looking really good when it is on. If I were to have a full Android smartwatch, then this would probably be the one that I keep. I have never used the other ones that I bought. I have used this one every now and then because I do think it looks quite cool sometimes, and sometimes if I know I'm going to be on the tube or on a plane, I like to watch some videos and play some games. I found that to be a fairly useful use of this watch. You can get this watch reasonably inexpensively now. It's been about 4 or 5 months since it's been released, so check out the description to see where I got it from. I'm going to be checking out the latest powerful but low budget cheap smartphones in the next few weeks, so check that out. There's some new ones coming out. The Poco F2 is on the horizon. Really looking forward to that. And the latest smartwatches from Amazfit and Xiaomi and all those other companies, which I think do produce some good quality, relatively inexpensive devices, gadgets. So we'll be checking those out in the next few months or so. So subscribe if you're into that, and check out my other videos if you want. And yeah, that's it, guys. I will see you soon. Bye.